Hi everyone, and welcome back to Holistic Hacks. Um, so today we are going to be focusing on planning. And before we go into that, just to sort of quickly recap on holistic healthcare, do you know what? I'm going to give you the more interesting version, how I like to explain it to my patients so it's not so okay, so bear with me here. Close your eyes, right? And imagine yourself in the middle of the ocean, right? And you are drowning. And that is what it feels like to have a chronic illness, whether it's physical health or mental health, you're drowning. And finally, you find something that gives you some form of respite. So it could be medication, it could be something else, like people find relief in different things. But let's just say, for argument's sake, it's medication. You get the medication, and you finally have your head above the water and you can breathe again, and it just feels so amazing. And it is, yeah. But it also gives you this really false sense of security because you then believe that you're okay, when in reality, you're still in the middle of the ocean. You actually need to still swim back to shore. And honestly, that's what holistic healthcare is the tool sets that you need in order to swim back to shore and stay ashore, because we don't want you coming back and drowning again. And yeah, that's it. That's really holistic healthcare summarized really easily there. So now that we've cleared that up, go planning. Right, so we are now going to be looking at goal planning here, right? And the main thing really that I want to focus on, it's not the actual goal planning itself, because we've done so many things on that, and I will have the link in the description section for the goal planner that's on the website. And just to clarify for you guys, anyone that's not familiar with the goal planner, it has guidance on how to fill it out as well. So you'll be supported with that, don't worry. But we're actually going to talk about why it's so important to goal plan, and the sort of mindset that you need to be at when you are goal planning, right? And so the first kind of things that you really do need to focus on is analyze your current state. Yeah, this is probably the most important thing, guys, that you have to do for yourselves. Like, is be honest with yourself. Be honest with where you really are at. A lot of the times, because we don't like to admit that we're in a really bad place, and so we would often lie to ourselves and tell ourselves that we're somewhere better than we are. If you really want to make positive changes for your life, the first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. And once you're honest with yourself and analyze where you are at, you're then able to analyze where you want to be. And that will then enable you to find your targets, identify your targets. And from there, you'll be able to start looking at what are the gaps, what are the things that I need to start working on so that I can be at this end goal, right? And that then brings us to smart planning. And so smart planning, bring this around here. And so smart planning is it's a very simple tool that you can use when you're trying to make plans, and I'm going to go through it again very briefly. There is something that explores this in much more detail on the website. I will leave a link to it in the description section. But if we're looking at just smart planning, right? S stands for specific, right? You have to have a specific, clear goal. You can't just be like, well, I'm hoping. No, this is what I want. And you need to put that out there to the universe. This is what I want. This is what I'm trying to achieve, right? And when you are trying to achieve these goals as well, you bring them to the M, and that means measurable. So as you're working your way through, okay, I want this. And let's say the goal is I want to diet and I want to lose 5 kg. So in terms of measurable, I'll start looking at, right, 1 kg a week, and that will help me to start building up a time scale. This is how much I'm going to lose a week. And then you start looking at achievable, right? Is it a realistic goal to lose 1 kg a week? Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay, perfect. So relevance, how do you do that? You need to make sure that everything you do from that moment onwards contributes towards this ultimate goal. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to do it 1 kg a week, which means then you're going to need to change your diet around, increase your exercise, but it all needs to be relevant to your goal and time bound. There must be an end date. Without an end date, you're not going to put any sort of pressure on yourself at all. And a lot of the times, it's just going to drag and drag and drag. So I got carried away. I've reached my 5 minutes. As usual, you can do it at any point in your life, people. You got this. Links will be in the description section. See you next week.